Let's try that all again. How's that sound? Thanks, Tim, for the note. That would have been disappointing to go through the whole day without audio because I was saying all sorts of wonderful things. Anyhow, I was saying first and foremost, thank you for joining us today. This is episode 50. I shared with you I might be occasionally distracted. I was actually trying to add a second camera today because that's part of the story of these first 50 episodes. But I was saying before I realized the audio wasn't on, thank you, Tim, again. He probably jinxed me. Tim is world famous for his audio and video prowess, and world famous. And so it was only appropriate he would tune in the one time I didn't have the mic on. But anyhow, beautiful. So I was sharing the story. March 9th of 2020, I was patiently sitting at home and excited. We had 3 events that week, and I was going to be doing a breakfast event, paddle race event for our good friends at the Portland Youth Philharmonic on Wednesday, March 11th of 2020. So I was only about 36 hours away. I got a phone call at the house and said it was Noreen, their executive director, and she wanted to reach out to me and let me know that they had decided that they did not feel comfortable. They did not feel comfortable doing a gathering event on March 11th of 2020, that they had a board member just come back from China, and that this new thing called the coronavirus was going to be serious, and they didn't want to have any type of gathering event. And I said, so what are we going to do? Are we going to, you need to raise the funds. Are we going to forego it? And they said, well, we have our audio visual team from the Multnomah Club, who happens to be the AV department, our good friends over at the AV department. I had worked with them for many years, but not nearly as close as the last 24 months. But they're going to come to our office and they're going to live stream our program. And instantly I thought to myself, is live stream one word or two? I wasn't positive. And I said, well, how's that work? Right. And long story short, 36 hours later, I went to their office the next morning and we rewrote the show, and we changed everything up about what we were going to do. We didn't even have auction software in place. We were going to use their donation window on their existing website, on their organizational website, and so we went off and we did the program, and we raised nearly as much. I mean, within just a couple of $1,000s of the same amount that we had raised in person the year prior. And I thought, wow, this has got so much potential. And my buddy Todd Campbell and John Hasty over at the AV department, as soon as the show was over, in fact, it was such a big news at the time, KPTV Fox 12 here locally actually covered us live streaming, right, as a live streaming fundraiser. It was such a new concept, and it was amazing. John and Todd said, hey, can you come to our office? We think this is kind of going to be a real thing of the future here, and we'd like to, from an auctioneer standpoint and whatnot, visit with you about what you would be looking for in this environment. And I had some pretty strong opinions after that first show. And so we got together, and the rest is history. Absolutely amazing to me. It's incredible to me that, now we've done, well, me personally, over 50 virtual fundraising auctions that we've, started a live streaming show. Really, I started this program to kind of hone my personal skills on how to live stream and get it going. And then just the things we've done. I mean, it's as I sit back, it all happened so fast. I was pretty amazed. I mean, it was kind of in the heat of the moment. It was what I love. It was that fast pace. Things are changing quickly. Kind of that event business that I've always been in. And so it was really cool to see us evolve and get into what we needed to do and make this happen. So I appreciate you tuning in today. This is great. Hey, I want to make sure as you're tuning in, be sure to say hello. Tell us where you're tuning in from and visit. I also want to make sure, feel free to ask any questions, add any comments. Tim's already given me the tip that I didn't have the mic on, and all this time, I think that's the second time I've not had the right mic plugged in when I did the show, or done a show. So this is fantastic. But I kind of wanted to walk through, and the last 50 episodes, we've covered an incredible amount of different things on this program, and every single episode resides on Fundraising BIDness Talk and .com. And I always encourage folks, if you I went back and looked at it over the weekend. I was pretty amazed at kind of watching the evolution and some of the things that we said early on that held true and still hold true today are pretty remarkable. And then to see some of the things that we were concerned about that we're not concerned about, but also some of the things that were revolutionary that we have. And I say revolutionary, not necessarily just something that we did at G Events or myself, but something that has kind of changed the industry forever in the fundraising auction business. And I think that many times folks have, as we come out of this environment and we start back into gathering more in groups and things of that nature, that we are going to, we need to be aware of that. We're not going back to the way we were. We are going to evolve, right? And we're going to be doing things differently, and it's going to be fantastic. So I'm excited about it. So I wanted to touch base on a few of those items and things that we've kind of learned, and some best practices now that we know moving forward. But I encourage you, if you're just coming out of COVID with your organization, with your nonprofit, with your event planning business, and you're thinking about, okay, we can get people back together. I guess I'm going to, go back and do it in the exact same way I used to. We're going to have a silent auction, a live auction. We're going to have a special appeal video, and we're going to sell tickets, and we're going to have a rubber chicken dinner, and, all that type of stuff. Right. Then I'm going to encourage you, go back and check out some of those episodes and kind of follow along the journey that we've been on in the last 2 years, because I think if you went back to the old way of doing things, you'd be leaving a lot of money on the table, and you don't want to do that, right, in this new environment. And so we're going to touch base on some of those things. First and foremost, live streaming is for real. And I put this video together right after we got started, and I'm going to run it now because I want you to take a look at it. It talks about virtual events, right? But there's some elements of this that hold true as we move into the new environment. So let's just take a quick look at this quick, simple video we threw together. So, I watch that every time I do. I think, wow, that's amazing. The amount of information that's in that 60-second spot that we created. That was one of the first videos that we created. We've since taught ourselves Premiere Pro, and we learned how to edit videos and add music and lay graphics. And I just can't even imagine. I wanted to share with you today. I was going to show you a photo of what I'm looking at, and it's kind of interesting because in essence we built a home studio here. I mean, today I have a green screen behind me. I have two monitors. We've had to upgrade our computer systems now. We've gone off the laptop or multiple laptops that we were running at one point, and we've gone to a Lenovo ThinkStation that I think I could launch a space shuttle from right here if I had to. It's got more horsepower. We're driving a gig of internet service into here with a 40 gigs up or 40 megabytes up speed. I mean, all this stuff. I'm still from the era that dial tone and a 14.4 dial-up modem was where I started many years ago. And to think where I'm at today, sitting in front of box lights and multiple cameras and microphones, and it's just fascinating to me to see the journey that we've been on in the last 2 years. It's incredible and fun stuff. So, hey, folks, be sure to chime in the comment box, give us a hello, tell us hello, tell us where you're tuning in from today. And I know our buddy Tim chimed in earlier. He's down in Canby, I suspect. He's been really busy. Tim's an auctioneer and one of my idols in the business, and does tremendous work, not only in the benefit business, but also in real estate and personal property sales. Tim's out there killing it. So it's fantastic. But hey, chime in. Feel free to ask your questions, and always, be sure to say hi and tell us where you're tuning in from today. We appreciate. Hey, I looky there. One of our likes today is my old buddy Ted Ormisher. Ted is a fellow auctioneer out of the Colorado area. Ted and I went to the Worldwide College of Auctioneering together and learned this skill the same week. So that was a lot of fun. Ted, I'm glad to see you doing well, and tell all our friends out there in Colorado hello for us. That's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, and Tim, thanks. I appreciate that, buddy. Tim knows what a journey this has been. He's lived it too. So number 50. Wow, who would have ever thought? Pretty amazing stuff. So anyhow, let's talk a little bit about and give you something that hopefully you can learn. Right? Let's kind of surmise what I think. In today's world, where do we go from here? Right? I think that I've said since this started, starting with virtual when you're doing your planning, make sure that you have a virtual option, so that regardless of what happens in our society with respect to Omicron or the next variant or anything going on in our world, right? I mean, our world is, I don't want to say unstable, but I would say it's unpredictable. How's that sound? It's unpredictable what's going to happen, whether it's inflation, whether it's a new illness, whether it's world peace, not world peace, oil prices, whatever. Who knows what's going to happen? The one thing that you can always control is being able to do a virtual fundraiser. And so I always think it's important to have that virtual component nailed, that you could do it. Yes, we like to get back together. And I've had the opportunity to be in person on several events here in the last 6 months or so. And in particular, actually dating all the way back to May. We did our first hybrid event back in May last year, and it was incredibly successful. Had a mixture of both in-person attendees, but also folks tuning in online. We live streamed the actual focus or the main part of the program. And that was cool. Then this past fall, we did some events and we tried to live stream, or we did live stream, the programs and had an audience. It was interesting. What we found is that a lot of the folks that thought, the organizers felt like they were going to have a packed house, that people were just really antsy to get together. And what we saw this fall was that we didn't see that. We saw that there was more people that weren't comfortable with it quite yet, and they saw about 50% attendance. And so it was a good thing we had the virtual component, the live stream component, to still help them raise the type of dollars that they needed to raise, right? But it was the in-person component was not as successful as maybe they had hoped. And then just recently, we did a in-person event without any live streaming, but we did do, actually, I take that back. We did a live stream kickoff a week before when we opened up bidding, which I'll talk a little bit about. But then we had an in-person event. We had an online auction that ran simultaneously, that for a week that folks could did not have to buy a ticket to participate in, that they could just bid on online auction items. It was off the charts successful. Raised I think close to triple, definitely over double, almost triple of what they had raised the last time they used a silent bid format, silent auction format with bid sheets. So in incredible success. And then we had a packed house. The event was sold out. We had 225 people in the audience, and it was a glorious time. The event exceeded all expectations. Blew it out of the water, and so I'm optimistic as we move forward that that's going to be more of the case, right? But what happens is that you have to combine the best practices or the best components of both an in-person event and a live streamed or virtual 100% virtual event. And it really starts with your auction software. In my opinion, I think that you've got to be using a platform that will excel at both areas. Whether it's the online auction components, whether it's simulcast bidding. Simulcast bidding means where we're taking bids in the room and online simultaneously. This is a practice that, professional auctioneers like Tim Stewart, who's joining the program today. Tim's been doing this for 20 plus years. The industry has been doing simulcast auctions and personal property, antiques, collectibles, real estate, vehicles, farm equipment, any, liquidation sales, whatever. They've been doing simulcast auctions for 25 plus years. And, when we moved into this in the benefit world, it was new, right? And I think so many people tried to take their gathering event and make it a televised gathering event, which it wasn't, right? It was totally different. So, taking the best practices that we knew from online auctions and simulcast auctions and adapting those to our benefit world are really powerful. And that was one of the things that we took away. But it all starts with the auction software, right? And I think that auction software has come an incredibly long way. I think all the companies, there's many more players in the market today. There's a lot of good solutions out there. There's all sorts of price points, and some of them, even claim to be zero cost to the nonprofit, but obviously they'll take those organizations. There is a cost, and it usually comes out of the credit card fees that your buyers pay. And then there's some less expensive options, and then there's some really expensive options. But I'm always going to share that, my favorite benefit auction software today and continues to be is Octria.com. I've probably got 40 or so of my clients in Octria, and what it's allowed me to do. And one of the things that I noticed right away was our clients were underutilizing their software, underutilizing their auction software. And I found that was a great role for myself to hone my skill and be more of an asset to our clients, was that I totally understood, I can't, let me back that up. That I am well versed in Octria enough to get our folks through. I am constantly amazed at how much I know and how little I know. And Rob and Lori at Octria have done a phenomenal job, and the whole team there, building tremendous tech support. Their chat support is second to none that I found. You've got a question, you're not sure how to do something, you fire it to them and they tell you right back, and it's fantastic. And I think it's really crucial to use the software, not 100%, but to really take advantage of the features of it. So I encourage all our clients, reach out to octria.com and check it out. And then the other one that I've been really excited about has been the evolution of learning audiovisual and the value and the rock solidness of audiovisual, the importance of audiovisual in this new environment. When we were, it used to be, and I've always had it in my personal auctioneer contract that, I have approval privileges of the audiovisual that we use at an event, an in-person event. And I didn't have incredibly high standards, but one of my sensitivities was that the folks could hear us, right? And way too many times people would try to rely on a house PA system that was already built into the ballroom. The speakers are in the ceiling, things of that nature, which does not work. The simple explanation that I've always been taught is that if the speakers are in the ceiling, your ears are on the side of your head, not on the top of your head. And so those systems are really inadequate. And then, just having the right PA system, but also being able to sync it up with the right audio visual, whether it's the videos that we're playing, whether it's PowerPoints that we're showing, whether it's if we're using iMag, which would be an in-house camera to show the images. If it's a really big room, we use iMag sometimes to show on the big screens the people that are on stage. Makes it, make them easier to see and understand, things of that nature. I have always valued the audio-visual team in any event that I've done. But as we have moved into COVID and as we move out of and move to the next part of this journey, I can't stress enough the value of having the right audio-visual team. And, if you're in my market here in the Portland and the Pacific Northwest, but quite honestly, they're talented enough and have the resources to go everywhere, I'm gonna encourage you to reach out to the AV department. Our friends at the AV department, yes, that is really their name, at the AV department is unbelievable. I mean, when it comes to live streaming, they've done, at least 400 or 500 shows of fundraising events, and they do remarkable work. They have a video production team that can put together your appeal videos, can put together videos for your organization to showcase the work that you're doing as a nonprofit. So reach out to our friends Todd and John and all the team over there at the AV department and ask them to help you out. Because I'll tell you what, one of the things that we really know moving forward, it used to be that we will, and I see this all the time, we spent committees on these events, so it spent so much time on the catering and the decorations and those types of things. And I was always concerned about that because those elements were expensive and they were non-revenue generating, right? I mean, if an organization was doing a good job, hopefully they covered their cost in those elements with their food and beverage. But for the most part, I felt like they were non-revenue generators and could be a real drag on the energy of the organization. And, some caterers are better than others, obviously, and I don't want to discount their value. I think there's things that we need to put higher on the priority list, and that would be, your auction software and understanding it, your audio-visual team, and then having the right fundraising consultant, having the right benefit auctioneer who specializes in benefit auctions, that has their BIDness accreditation from the National Association. That's that little symbol down there. That purple one is mine from the National Auctioneers Association. It's an accreditation that says that we've come together and done extensive learning and workshops and whatnot specifically on benefit auctions. And I think when you combine the right benefit auction team, someone like myself or our team at G Events, and you combine them with the right audio visual, and you combine that with the right auction software platform, that you've got the real key foundation to helping your organization. Those are all three of those are incredibly key investments for your organization to have a successful event. And catering's great, and we definitely want to have good catering, but we need to tie that foundation of those three together on the front end, and make sure that we have the right platforms and the right locations to get together. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we can't talk about everything that we've learned in the last 2 years doing this, and the growth of what's happened in our industry and the fundraising auction business, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm going to encourage you. Every Wednesday, we're right here at noon talking about what's learning. Today I've kind of taken a look back and enjoyed the journey that we've been on the last 2 years. But normally on a weekly basis, we talk about whatever the latest and greatest is. We talk about current events and what we're seeing, and hope you will join us every Wednesday starting at noon. And if you miss the show, that's okay. Check it out. Fundraising BIDnesstalk.com is you can always catch all the episodes. And then, of course, check out our website too. A lot of good information there, a lot of examples. We have a whole Vimeo channel of past events, both virtual and hybrids, and all sorts of different things. Get some ideas, right? And schedule yourself an appointment. There's a scheduling app. Our friends at Calendly have a nice scheduling app. You can schedule a one-on-one conversation with myself, and would love to talk about your event. And hopefully we have some insight for you in helping you grow your event, and so that you can further your mission of making our communities better places to live and work. So, hey, thanks for joining me today. We certainly appreciate all the support. I love hearing the comments. I love the feedback when I'm out in the community and run into folks and they say, "Hey, I love your show," or I talked to you. I haven't had the confidence to send in a question, but whatever it is, right? But people are watching and learning, and we know that folks are doing some of the things that we're talking about, and they're having success. And so it's absolutely fantastic. Appreciate you being part of the 50th episode of Fundraising BIDness Talk. Until next Wednesday, bid high, bid often, and remember, it's not where you start the bidding, it's where you finish. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.